For those of you who don't know, actor Danny Masterson, he was on shows like The 70s Show and The Ranch on Netflix. He has been sentenced to 30 years, I believe like 30 years to life, in prison, prison time, in a R-word case. That's how to put it. So kind of a trigger warning for, essay, stuff like that. And when I talk about this stuff, I will be trying to use uh, terms like essay instead of like what's actually going on. So we have this article from CNN, and it basically talked about it. Just gonna read it out. Actor Danny Masterson was sentenced on Thursday to 30 years to life in prison after he was convicted of 2 counts of SA earlier this year in a Los Angeles courtroom, according to Deputy DA Reinhold Mueller of the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office. Masterson received the maximum aggregate penalty for his crimes, Mueller said. The 70s Show star of 47 was found guilty in late May on 2 of 3 counts of R-word and was taken into custody following the verdict. The jury was deadlocked on the 3rd count. And just reading that, that's really, really bad. I believe, the average sentence for, I believe it's, first degree R-word. Given a prison sentence for that is, 8 years, I believe. I think 8 years is the average sentence. Getting 30 to life, that shows a lot, how much they probably had on him. And, it's still weird that the 3rd one was, deadlocked. But we don't know. Following his initial arrest in 2020, Masterson had pleaded not guilty to R-wording 3 women at his home in separate incidents between 2001 and 2003. The sentence on Thursday stems from the 2nd trial in the case, which began on April 24th and went to jury on May 17th. Masterson was represented by defense lawyers. One of his lawyers told reporters outside the courthouse on Thursday that they plan to appeal his R-word convictions. We are very disappointed in the sentence the judge handed down today. Mr. Masterson did not commit the crimes for which he was convicted, and we and the other lawyers who are the best and brightest in the country are confident that these convictions will be overturned. The first trial began in October 22. A mistrial was declared the following month after the jury remained deadlocked, which isn't great. Allison Anderson, an attorney representing 2 of the 3 accusers, told CNN in a statement on Thursday following the sentencing that our clients have displayed tremendous strength and bravery by coming forward to law enforcement and participating directly in 2 grueling criminal trials. Yeah, this stuff, had to be, a lot to go through. It really did, because, you're putting yourself out there in a very vulnerable state against someone who has, very, very big influence. He's a pretty big actor. The 70s Show is, huge. And he was also on a pretty big Netflix show with The Ranch, which he was on, and actually he got wrote off the show because of the R-word allegations. It was insane. I think they literally killed him off in the show, from what I remember. I did watch The Ranch, because my family was a big fan of it. And, they just kind of, I just remember they just kind of wrote him off the show, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? This kind of feels weird for his character, and then I found out, and I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. I think justice is getting served. It's really amazing that, he got 30 years for, that has to say a lot from what was presented, and, how much evidence there probably was on him. But the thing is that when someone is going through something, usually the people who are closest to them, who want to support them in any way or have a very deep connection with them, will try to basically defend him any chance they get in one way or another. But at some point you just had to realize that the facts are the facts. You can't be blinded by your loyalty and trust to this person, especially when something this big comes out, because with situations like this, people who are the perpetrators of this often have a very good skill of hiding their intentions, hiding their true nature from other people. Like, they might seem like really good people when they're around you, but that doesn't mean they're not bad people when they're by themselves or with someone they could take advantage of. And this eventually led to Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, who are very good friends with Danny. They were his co-stars on, the '70s show. Kutcher was his co-star on The Ranch. Like, these two are obviously friends. And it came out that they sent letters alongside like a lot of people. I believe like the mom and dad from '70s show also wrote letters to the judge that were basically asking for a lighter sentence. It does say here from Dexteronox that they were supporting him. I think they were just kind of asking for like a lighter sentence. But again, I don't know like the full context of the letters. And you know, it got very dicey because this stuff very much leaked out in a big bad way, and it does not look good on them because like again, he is your friend, but at the same time, like at some point you gotta like cut that stuff off. Like he has done horrendous things. You can't just like you know butter your way up to the judge to give a lighter sentence. So we're gonna watch this little video that they made. In the response to all this stuff going on, at least with the letters.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
Like, here's the thing. I get wanting to, like, help out your friend, but when it comes to someone like this, where they are being, like, very shitty towards other people, very much have probably ruined these people's lives in more ways than one, at some point you just gotta be like, I can't help you out here. Like, if I help you out, that's just gonna, like, not, just coming from it from, like, a non-selfish point of view, like, it could very much, like, harm the victims more than it would help, like, him. Like, the victims are more than likely going to get harmed from that than him, because now you have these big names coming out and seemingly supporting him, and it just doesn't look good. Like, it looks really bad, and it probably, like, adds a lot of these people's fans who, like, see these people giving support and just like, oh, well, if they're giving support to him, then he might be in the right, because, like, that's just kind of how it works. Like, there are people who just blindly follow celebrities and will, campaign for them no matter what. Will do whatever, like, they believe what they think is right. And, like, once you, like, I get, like, trying to, like, lower the sentence, but it's just not, like, that shouldn't be something that you should be trying to do. I don't know. Like, he done these things. He has been guilty, at least with, like, 2 out of the 3. And the third one wasn't even, like, a confirmed no, he didn't do this. It was just, like, they just don't know. They were at a stalemate, basically. Like, this is a messy situation. So, like, doing all this, like, character letters, it's not a right decision. Like, I get you're trying to help out your friend, but it doesn't really, like, it does not help the victims who should be given a better spotlight than all these big names kind of trying to come out to protect their friend. And Like, it's also worse when you take in consideration that, like, I believe, as I'm not sure if I've only seen the clip of Ashton in it, not with Mila, but he was like talking, I believe, in front of like Congress about like sex trafficking, like trafficking. Like, he was very much like talking about that stuff, being like, we need to like stop this. This is a real problem in our country, and we need to find some ways to work on it. And then he gives a character letter for his best friend who essayed 3 women. Like, it's not a good look, and it's something that they really should have thought like 5 times over about.